Daily Dose. My name is Robert. I'm here with Hillary from the Parkinson Voice Project. We had a wonderful overview about the organization and Hillary's role within it in our last episode. Now we're going to take a look at foundationally, in case we skipped over this, which I want to be careful of, why speech is important with Parkinson's, because I think some people might see it as a surface level issue, right? They're, oh,
Ah,
well, it's unfortunate. Your speech isn't as clear, or, you know, and we could certainly dive into that. But at the tail end of it, there's a bigger problem. We're talking about, asphyxiation and right. I mean,
aspiration. That's right.
leading
Yes,
cause of death in Parkinson's is that, I believe. Is that
you're
not
correct,
correct?
unfortunately. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're exactly right. So it is. So we will say, and we say that early intervention is essential for helping people with their speech and voice. 90% of people with Parkinson's will have a problem with their speech or voice. And yes, that means their spouse is not hearing them clearly. They're repeating themselves. They're not reading a book to the grandchild. Worse, untreated, what it can mean is that it can lead to a life-threatening swallowing problem. That's what you had mentioned. And so, yeah, the leading cause, and I don't know the latest research on that, Robert, but yes, you can look up and see that aspiration pneumonia is often involved, which is, we'll say, often avoidable. And so through speech therapy. And that's why, and the other thing that's so insidious about Parkinson's is that these changes may happen gradually. And so you're ordering in the restaurant and the server doesn't hear. And so the spouse orders for you. It's the problem solved. It just moves on. I don't hear what you're saying in the other room. So I walk into the room and I just do that. And I will tell you how many times I have done an evaluation for a new patient and speak out, and the spouse will say, I thought I had a hearing problem. Because the part that makes it so challenging to treat is that Parkinson's gives the patient a sensory deficit, meaning they do not hear how they sound. So I sound fine. It's you who has the problem.
Well, that's every marriage. I
Right.
mean,
Well, yes.
Parkinson's or otherwise,
Yeah,
you're
I
the one with the
saw a
problem.
cup towel one day at a store that said 90% of marriage is, what did you say? So that's all of us, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, the communication part and the social aspect of it.
Yes.
This is something I see personally with my dad, but certainly with a lot of folks
Mm.
who are in my program too. It is, you mentioned the slow, insidious nature of it, that when you start peeling away things, you start doing less, and I don't think so, and it's embarrassing, it's
Oh,
stigmatized for whatever
yes,
reason,
yes, all
that
that.
suddenly, you're isolating and maybe you feel safe. You're like, well, at least I'm not facing that stuff anymore. But you don't realize how much you're missing by not participating. This is a brilliant angle to what you guys are doing, because while you have the clinical aspect of it,
Yes.
the singing aspect of it that you all do together, tell me about that, because that's the celebration side. And I think that says,
Yes.
wait a minute, I'm more than what I thought I was even.
Oh, I love that you brought that up. So yes, we have had the intentional singers who meet here. So that is the only in-person group we still have. We have about 40 to 50 local folks who come here every Wednesday. Our music director has been here for more than a decade, and I describe her as patients come in and they have Parkinson's, and she goes, "So what? Let's sing," right? So she is fabulous. And it is, yeah, it's an exercise. And yes, it's fun. It does not replace a speak out therapy group, which is a part of our program that is essential, because we know with Parkinson's, it's not one and done. You have to keep practicing every day. That's why we have our online, which is fun, engaging, and informative. The singing is fun and an exercise. So we just had last week, yes, our holiday concert. So we had about 100 people from the area here, and they all sang with intent, and it was beautiful. And we now have had for 2 years our online sing along. So everyone in the world can sing with us, and that's every Thursday at 10:30 Central Time. And Jeannie is our music director for that. She's the sing along coordinator, and she curates wonderful sets of music. We have two of our Parkinson Voice Project advocates, which are super volunteers who are Speak Out graduates who sing with us. We have a sound man who's amazing, and a keyboardist, and Jeannie, and one of our front office staff, Meredith, has a beautiful voice and sings along too. So we'll have about 100 folks generally who practice with us live. And then it's been creeping up to about 900 who watch the recording. So we want that more because it's just a fun way to practice. And we encourage folks to have their friends and family on there too. And they practice reading with intent and then singing with intent, which is just saying every word like you mean it.
We're going to come back in the next episode and talk about this word intent because you're nailing it. It's so much a part of who you are. And again, foundationally, I think it's structurally, well, I'll tell you the story in the next episode of why I was
Okay.
The last thing I'll mention here is just the universal nature of music. And I'm so glad you put that out there, the international community and the way we come together. You don't even have to speak the language.
That's
Music
it.
is the language. And so bless you all for doing that. Let's come back and talk about intent. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.